Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Yes, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are at KCVG, even, which is Cincinnati, and we are in the amazing little Toliss A319. It's quite a fabulous little airplane. And so yeah, we're going to take a very short hop over to Atlanta, and we have the airplane partly set up already, so let's hop in, finish setting things up. Toliss A319 is a great little airplane. I really like it. Okay, so let's bring up Thingy Bobby right here. We've got that all set. 5 tons of fuel will be plenty for us to get to Atlanta. Set that. And our cargo, yeah, that's all pretty good within parameters. 29. Actually, this goes for about 30. That's good. Thank you. Right, let's go up to the init page. What is our flight number? It is Delta 1556. Boink! Get wind. That's all good. We don't have an alternate airport because we're just not going to fail to make it to Atlanta. We will make it to Atlanta. Oh yes. Okay, so let us look at the performance of the airplane next. Alright, so we need to select the runway first, don't we? So we're going to be departing from when doing active runways are 36 right, 36 center, 36 left. So let's do 36 center. Because why not? We're going to take the Chuckle 4. We're going to go via ball bag. Not BWG. Okay, so that's our route to there. Then let's have a quick look at what the weather's doing in Atlanta. Atlanta, where are you? Alright, so current weather, we're looking at 240 at 11 knots, so alright, we're probably going to be using runway, look, Hartsfield Jackson International Airport. Let's have a look. We will probably come on 26 left or 27 right. Let's do 26 left. Arrival 26 left. And we will take star do. Got it, I remember it. On no. Winds for what's that fella? Quite good. Actually no, that doesn't look right. Yeah. Check out these stars. We're coming from BWG. So, chipper one. That's the fella. We're going to be going 26 left. So we want to go by jury. Goes like Matthew for that. Perfect. With a bit of disco. That should join up nicely. Here we go. Okay. Alright, so that's our route. Looks fabulous. Right, let's should have done this a little while ago actually, but just get that all set up there. Rubbery jubbery. Fuel pumps on because we're going to need those for the engines. That on, now the logo on. Pack flow to normal. External power's already set up. Right, let's add the performance to the FMC. So we're going to do flaps 2, which is going to give us 151. The V1, VR is going to be the same because the room is pretty long. And V2, 154. Blended. Blended. And flaps 1. Down 0.5. And a flex temperature of 64. Woo! Alright, there we go. Fabulous and groovy. So let's just make sure we've got everything here. Done the wind, done that. We need to make sure that it knows. So the zero fuel weight center of gravity is 31.4, which I'm getting that here. And the zero fuel weight is 54.9. 54. It's not that 55 because it's 54,987. So I'm just going to round that to 55.0. Block fuel we have is 5 tons of fuel. Bing! There we go. Perfect Amanda. Alright, so that's the FMC cell. Stick the radios on. Gonna turn that down a wee bit. Alright, so make sure that radio's on, that radio's on. Don't need to turn any of that stuff on just yet. So the altimeter at Cincinnati is 299.8. We'll set an initial altitude. We're not flying on any network today. Not with that sim off the edge or anything. So we're gonna wing it. We're just gonna pretend. So let's pretend that a clearance has given us an initial altitude of 7,000, which is fabulous. And that's all groovy. Flight directors are on. Let's go and set. Well, let's actually just double check in relation to where we are. Where do we need to go? The 36 center. Oh, that's runway 18 left. Alright, so yeah, it's all the way over here. Look, 36 center. Alright, so we need to go out and to the left, I think. It's probably going to be the easiest way. Better push back. Fabulous plug. Fabulous. It's very good. It's a very good plug-in. Actually, yeah, to the right. Left, but... So, yeah, around about there. Wow. Ground cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Please contact me through the menu. Alrighty. So, let us go and start the APU. And so that's all quick flow, they're all aligning, sorry. And that's all fab and groovy. That looks all fab and groovy. Good thing about Airbuses is if you see a light, it means there's potentially a problem. If you don't see a light, it means you're all good to go. Right there. Yep. Alright, good. That looks good. You'll have to forgive me because the order in which I do things is absolutely not, I'm pretty sure, Airbus standard by any region or any particular airline. It's just me winging it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wing it. Because we're in an airplane. We're going to wing it. Yes. Alrighty, so. Make sure that's set correctly. 7,000 feet. Alright, so the APU should be running now. Yes. APU is running. Let's get rid of the drive away all of the catering and baggage loading thingies. While we're doing that, let's call the tug so that we're ready to go. It's going to be that woman that sounds like she's, there she is. She sounds like she's, there's carpet, there's driving. Awesome stuff. Alright, so off you go then, little catering trucks and things. Stick that fire, a little bit closer range. IRSs will be aligned in 4 minutes! I knew I should have done this before. I knew it! Never mind. Never mind. Let's just, yeah, we're all good there. Yeah, we're really just waiting for this. And we can't really move to the IRSs aligned, otherwise it'll bugger things up. And that's not good. We don't want that. Or we've even left the ground. Oh, what was that, love? Squawk 7144. Got it. Yeah. Alright, let's try it this way. 7144. Yep. PA only on auto system. Perfect. Alright, good. In fact, we can stick it. Well, it's an Airbus. Stick it in Terra. It will just stick in. It will be auto, and it won't actually be TM. Right? We get there. Map not available. Yep, I know. It's still. Yeah. Okay, I will do that in a minute. No problem. Just going to have a quick gander around the airport. This is the Cincinnati airport that's available in the Explained It All store. It's absolutely brilliant, and they've done that also for the surrounding area too. So there's like lots of lovely trees, and the scenery is really good. Downtown Cincinnati over there. It's really it's one of the more picturesque airports. It really is. It's a stunning little looking little airplane airport. I don't suppose anybody's wondering, but the Sky. This is not standard. I've got SkyMax Pro version 4 running. It's all right. It's not fabulous. Certain sky conditions in certain meta, it handles a lot better. But then in certain conditions, it just seems to absolutely tank your frames. But I have found that one little fix for that, if you go to plugins, you get SkyMax Pro, configure clouds, just move this a little bit, either way, it doesn't really matter, and then click apply changes, and what it does is it reloads all the clouds and stuff again. For some reason, sometimes it will actually give you a boost. If you're hovering around 20, 30 frames or something, and you come into an airport that's got a lot of scenery and a lot of objects to load, your frames can tank. So just resetting it like that could help you a little bit. I found IRS is aligned in 1 minute. Oh, come on! Passes it again. Impatient. Alright, so the APU is on. Put the APU bleed on because we're going to be starting the engines any minute now. Oh, wow, something just absolutely tanked my brains there. Not quite sure what. Oh, less than a minute for the IRS is still on. I do apologise for this, it's extreme. I certainly won't be making a mistake jumping in live with no IRS aligned, not in this particular airplane anyway. Although actually I'm pretty sure we can just force align the IRS anyway, can't we? So it's force align. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. ILS. I'm probably sure you can. But anyway, we're all aligned now, so let's remove the parking brake. And off we go. Oops. That noise that you heard just then was the wire, the cable being ripped from the ground power unit, no doubt. Dumbass. Yes, I've got this. This is not the end of the world, but you know, it's not something that you should do. Here we go. So we are alright, let's start some engines. Start engine number 2. Engine pages up, APU bleed. It's auto start on this little Airbus, so it's actually pretty groovy. It's not like if you start in a 757 or a 76, you've got to wait. N2 value gets to a certain percent, and then you throw in some fuel. It just does it for you. It's great. It's like, I want to start the engine. Click a button. There you go. Job done. So we're in good shape. Make sure that radios and stuff are all turned on. Sorry, not the radios, the weather, radar and everything else before we go. So let's set APU, brake fans. That's good, go ahead and start that. Alright, so auto brake. Oh, sorry, it's not looking up. There we go. Auto brake set to maximum. Standing by. Set to maximum, and we're going to arm the ground spoilers. We set flaps 2 for takeoff. So I'm going to go ahead and set flaps 2. Check, make sure the joystick's calibrated. Pull forward, pull back, pull left, pull right. Some rudder action. Rudder, 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 rudder. Alright, great. Fan dabby dozy. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to scoot off down there, hang a left, follow it all the way down to the end, and we'll be at runway 36 center. That's where we're taking off from. Where's my dude with the pin and stuff? Oh, she's dancing on the right. Okay. So look out for the lady with the pin. There she is. She's going to jump out and wave the pin a bit. Wow, she's pretty rough. Alright, thank you very much, dude. So let's have some turn off lights, taxi lights, turn that off, and that off, and that off. Seatbelt should have been on ages ago, see? This is why you shouldn't rely on me for proper procedures for getting going in an Airbus, because, well, we're just winging it, aren't we? Alright. Handbrake is in the off position. And these on. And we're going to do terrain and weather. Alright, so. Off we jolly well go. Now, as Cam speaking, we're on our way to the end of the ramp. We're going to left with a flow over there. We're moving to find runway 36. Set up for the takeoff in the northerly direction. We'll be turning to the left and down towards Atlanta. And we're going to be landing from east to west on runway 24. That's it. I don't know. Yeah, 26. 26 left, yes. Wait, hey. Easy, Tiger. Alright, so quick outside view, because we all love an outside view. Let's just bring that down from 400 knots to a more sensible taxiing speed. It's still a little high. So this little airplane, as soon as you release the parking brake, it will start rolling with the engines on idle. It's not quite as bad as the flight factor 777. As soon as you let the handbrake off that thing, it wants to take off immediately, and you have to keep reining it in all the time. But yeah, this isn't quite that bad. What we're doing, 14 knots on the apron, not cool. Bring that down to 10. There we go. 10 knots is a much more acceptable taxiing speed. No, I'm not sure exactly, but I think it's around about 10 knots on the apron. 10 knots maximum on the apron, and on a taxi, well, you want to be about 25-ish. Some people say 25, some 30. I'm going to go with the more conservative value there, 25 knots. Takeoff config test. So we've got a couple of blues there, but that's alright. Cabin check. Now you see, I got on the flight factor A320, which is another amazeballs aeroplane. It really is a fabulous little airplane. You can override that. When it says cabin check, you can say, yeah, no, I've spoke to them. They're all good. They're all good. And it will remove the blue. But we've still got this blue check. Now I've just checked with the cabin crew, and they're all good. They're all strapped in, so they're all ready to roll. So I don't know why that keeps saying. And if anybody knows, please leave comments. I'll have a look at that. And yeah, but I mean, right now, really, it's just me talking to myself. There's nobody on the street. Which is okay. I mean, that's good. It's like a small, cozy audience. Teeny tiny, cozy little audience. So anyway, yes, double check with the cabin crew. They said they're okay, so I'm not sure. We are on our way down to the end of the runway here. The nose wheel steering on this is a little sensitive. It kind of, if you're using a joystick or a I'm using one of the rotary switches on an X56, and you move it a little bit and nothing happens, and all of a sudden, way! You're kind of doing a handbrake turn, which is not good. Let's just, I'm pretty sure that's wrong. Yeah, we're going in the right direction. We're all good. We're all good. 22 knots ground speed, that's fine. So we've set everything is all good and groovy. It's a great little airplane. I only got this a little while ago, and I was like, now, because I've got the JAR A320 as well, which is another great little airplane. In fact, it's really not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. It's not quite as sophisticated as this or the Flight Factor A320, but for just, you know, you just want to jump on the sim for a couple of hours and have an immersive and fun little flight without having to worry about every single little system and everything. It's just, I like it, I really do. It's a great little airplane. If you get the sound expansion pack for it as well, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant little airplane. Yeah, the sound expansion pack for the JAR A320 is really good. It's a little loud though, you have to find out to turn things down a little bit. But that's okay. Alright, here we are. We are at the end of the taxiway. Let us apply some brakes. We're going to pretend that the tower have just given us the okay to just line up on the runway. So we're going to turn the taxi lights off, turn the pack off. And yep. We've got an intercept there. Okay, so they've said, yeah, alright, you can line up and wait. And now they've said, no, you don't have to line up and wait at all, you can just cleared for takeoff. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so let's push the flaps forward to stabilize and then flex. We are rolling. And our V1, V2 is 151 knots. That's actually not that slow. That's quite nippy. We've only got a little bit of payload and fuel on board, so we're doing a short flight. Alright, coming up to V1. V1 prod day. A little bit. There we go. We're airborne. Gear up. Thank you very much indeed. On to the flight directors. Go to the left. Not quite so high. There we go. Alright, so we're going to hand fly this for a little bit because it's actually a really nice little airplane to hand fly. And I'm just going to pop the packs back on before everybody suffocates in the cabin, which is good. We're also going to turn those off. I'm going to the speed brakes and actually set the thrust levers to climb. Let's just engage the pilot right there. What's going on out the window? Ooh, pretty! Alright, let's ignition on, jammer. Flaps 1. And flaps 0. We are configured clean. Climbing through 4,500 to 7,000. And we're just pelting it up to 250 knots because why not? The airplane has control. Alright. Oh, what was that? Air traffic has just cleared us through 31,000 feet. Fabulous. So let's set that. Alright, let's just have a quick review of the route. So after there, Weimar, cool. Actually, let's just zoom that out a little bit. There we go. So it's a left-hand turn and a southerly track-ish. Followed, then we're going to take a bit of a right-hand turn at Pony, and we'll be at top of climb at IIU. And then Skin and Bullbag, we're going to take a bit of a left down at Matthew McGriff. Babe. Lemke, Chipper, Mr. CHH, Hydro, and then from there, from Kiwi, I think it is. Kiwi will then get vectors to Jiri. Well, we could delete that and just have the plane fly it, or we could manually do it. So let's just do the easy thing here. Oops. Let's clear that manual entry. Now it's just going to follow track. Delete the disco. And it should just link those two up right here. Okay, that's good. Fab and groovy. We're passing 10,000 feet, so we can turn the landing lights off. Set that to auto. Beacon is on. Nav and logo is on. That's all good. Packs are on, pressure check, yeah, we're all good there. Let's release passengers. And yeah, there we go. All groovy. Not many people watching my stream at the moment, but that's okay. This is my first ever stream. Well, apart from the test stream we did the other day. But that's okay. We don't mind. It's a small, cozy little audience. That's what it is. Small and cozy. What I might actually do for the next one is I'm going to try and figure out how my laptop, I'm going to dig my laptop out, my MSI, and then plug that in, and then have that do all the encoding so that this desktop that's currently running X-Plane 11 can just focus on the sim. Because at the moment I'm getting 25 frames. That ain't great. I'm normally running around 40. I've lost 12 frames. Maybe there's a way to tweak the settings or something, I don't know, but whatevs. What we can do is I enable it's just going to run through all the different... Nah, we don't like that. It's too quick. It's making me dizzy. Making me dizzy. Alright. There we go. Oh. We're passing 18,000 feet now. Let's put the barometers to standard. QNH standard. 2992. Alright, so everything looks fabulous and groovy. Those lights up there. It's all looking good. Coming up to chuckle on our MC here. Where are we? There we go. Chuckle coming up. So yeah, sit back, relax. I'll give us an outside view for a moment whilst I toddle off and use the bathroom now that the captain's turned off the seatbelt sign. So I'll be back in a minute. And we're back! We are back! Alright. Have a quick check up on... Oh, turn the brake fan off. Yep, alright, everything looking good. Currently at 31,000 feet. Cruising at max 0.77. Max 7, could be there already otherwise. Goodness. Alright. Oh, that's all good and groovy. Alright, let's have a look at the news. The news. Orbex releases San Diego International Airport version 2. Cool, that actually looks really good. Strobe lights off, uh-oh. Whoops. Orbex version 2. Teased earlier this week, Orbex has today released a brand new update which San Diego for users. Listening to the community's feedback, developer Matteo Veneziani has improved almost everything about the product. Previously said, the new version is 100% new compared to the original, with quality changes and new details included. Well, it does look pretty good, I've got to say. But I don't currently have PCDs on this computer because it's a reasonably new one, and I just have X-Plane 11 installed at the moment. Any other interesting news? Oh yeah, FlyJ Sims 77 version 3. That looks good. Don't have that yet. I did have the other one. And that version 2 a little while ago. That was incredibly good little airplane. So version 3 they have fixed glass object specular properties. We have just a cockpit exterior glass texture. Good. What else have we done? CIS, old mat, old neon, bug changing 129. Don't think I ever had that one. But there we go. So, back to the sim. Nice progress being made here. Let's just have a quick see if I add another scene. Hey, whoops. You can tell I'm an absolute utter amateur at this. But it's alright. We all have to start somewhere, right? My apologies if I goof it up. No apologies though if I goof the landing up, but you know, I will do my best. We'll follow we'll let the autopilot follow the routing all the way down until we get to established on the localizer and the glide slope, and then I'm going to take over. There will be screams from the cockpit, and there will be screams from the cabin as well. Now, we were a little far away to start inputting the arrival data just yet, but we can take an educated guess. We already have the METAR for Atlanta up here, and we know the wind is 240 at what is it, 11 knots? Yep. 240, 11 knots. Don't know what the QNH is yet. Now we're not doing a full Cat 3 approach, even though we are, well, we could. So we're not going to have a D8, we're going to have an MDA of 300. Because I'm going to be landing the plane. Approach speed 134. Good. Full config. Flaps. Yep, that's great. Don't know what is the temperature. According to my information, the temperature is 28 with a dew point of 22. So the only thing we need to put in is the QNH. Once we get a little closer, and I can bring up the map. So that's cool. Yippers. Alright, so just the QNH to go, and then we'll I do like this short flight. I've actually got the scenery for Atlanta as well. Most of the flights I do, I fly between airports that I've got add-on scenery for. Some of the default scenery in X-Plane 11 is actually not too bad at all, really. If you've got the updated Mr. X library with the runway textures and other goodies that he's got, that really helps a lot. But for the most part, it's pay where it's needed. Ah, Captain Baker. Captain, my drink is pouring out. Level out, level out. Oh dear. Good greeting, sir. Hello. For those of you on the stream who do not know who Captain Baker is, well, it's actually Commander Baker. Actually, his real name is not Commander Baker. It's Commander Washburn. Commander Washburn is with us, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for Commander Washburn. See, this is what happens when you don't keep an eye on your stream chat. Excellent. Just open a comm to the purser. Could somebody please go and refill the cocktail for Mr. Baker? He's run out of ice. This is not good. We are cruising at 31,000 feet. Yeah, that's about right. You know, I tell you what, it would be really cool if if Elite Dangerous had the same kind of, well, maybe not quite as in depth as all the buttons and switches that you get on an aeroplane, but at least a little bit more, you know, start the APU. We don't need flaps because we're in a spaceship, aren't we? Oh no! What has happened? Runs! Okay, so yes, everything's looking fab and groovy. In one foul swoop. One foul swoop. The entire audience doubled. What I should try and do is I should try and get hold of Commander Baker. Commander Washburn. And fly spaceships together and do some shoot bangs. It's all immensely good fun. Ah, not big, is it? Lovely sunset. I do hope that's the autopilot. Look at those lovely fluffy clouds. Aren't they wonderful? Yes, wonderful fluffy clouds. All fluffy clouds out this side. That's great. The clouds actually in Skymax Pro version 4 are really good, but God, they do not kick the nuts out of your frame rates. So, our estimated time of arrival en route status is... Oh, lost my airplane, where is it? Oh, about 29 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to make... Well, we are in the middle of it. We'll be cruising for a little while longer. More drinks and cocktails shall be forthcoming in the cabin, whilst the Capitan puts his feet up. This is the important part. This is probably the part of the flight where the captain should be entertaining everybody on the stream with some fabulous anecdotes, cool stories and stuff. Alas, the captain is me, so I must work on that. What do we want here? Let's put the charts up. Okay. Well, that's not actually doing what I wanted it to do at all. Hey ho. Anybody knows how to work OBS, please let me know in the comments and I will take your advice. There goes my phone again. Really must put that on mute. The sun is slowly going down, so we'll be making an evening landing in Atlanta. Right, let's have some nice external views, shall we? And a smidgy. Perhaps a smidgy more. Look at the pretty, pretty. Yeah, I do really like this little aeroplane. It's fabulous, fabulous little aeroplane. Toliss has done a great job. Textures are great. Really, really nice use of PBR. Great reflective surfaces. It looks really good. Really good. It's quite well performing as well. Its frame rates are pretty decent. I would put it on par with the A320 for flight factor. It has a few things that the flight factor doesn't. For example, it has working weather radar and little things like this. The cockpit is lockable and unlockable, whereas it's not in the flight factor A320 at the moment. And then obviously the flight factor A330 the FMC is slightly more sophisticated on the flight factor A320 than it is on this, but this is exceptionally good. Very, very good indeed. It's actually really good for those that, for kind of beginners, and the more sophisticated, for more advanced flight simmers. System depth is really good. I like it. It's really good. So 25 minutes is our estimated time of arrival in, or our estimated time en route. And we'll be landing at, I'm going to cheat slightly right now. I'm going to mess about with the speed of the simulation, but we're going to bring the sun up a little bitty bit. There we go. Yes, that's better. Right, so we are approximately 80 miles on top of the sun. Still too far away to check out. Actually, we could probably let the QNH. The QNH at Atlanta is 3010. Wait a minute, QNH is 3010. Well, I can just put that in, can't I? Alright, so we have our arrival data popped in. It's good. Recommended optimum cruising altitude is 38,200. We're only cruising at 31,000
because the airline has said, you know, it's not really worth burning all that fuel to get up to 38,000 feet for like a 25, 30-minute cruise. So we're going to just stay around 31,000 feet. Otherwise your profile is going to be more like a pyramid than a trapezoid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think, but the sun keeps going down. Oh man. Well, we'll try and make it a picturesque landing at Atlanta. This is a bit of a new thing for the channel, because mostly I've done all the warship stuff and Elite Dangerous stuff. First time we've done X-Plane 11 stuff. So I guess I'll have to change the artwork for the channel to include X-Plane 11. I really do enjoy playing it. It's not really a game. I mean, you could argue that it's a game. I'm more inclined to go by what Austin, the creator of X-Plane 11, said. It's not a game. It's an engineering tool, or something like that. But yeah, it's a simulator, a flight sim. Gameplay, not really that much. I mean, in cruise, we just get to sit here and monitor the aeroplane, which is doing all the work, and we're just making sure that it's all good and groovy. There's actually a video on YouTube by Airclips, and it's a flight from Frankfurt to Tokyo Narita with Lufthansa Cargo, and it's really good. And halfway through the flight, during the cruise stage, the Captain Bricard, who is an absolute legend, it must be said, and his first officer Sebastian, are absolute consummate professionals. They're really, really cool people, but they're also very knowledgeable. I mean, they give a small talk on the role of the crew and how they oversee what the aeroplane is doing, and then they become more active and more involved in the actual flight process during the takeoff and the landing phase. So yeah, as a game, you're basically just sitting on your butt watching the plane fly itself. And I mean, this aircraft could land itself as well. As soon as we get to top of descent, which is coming up very shortly, we just change the MCP altitude to whatever the intercept for the glide slope is. In this case, runway 26 left, Atlanta is 4,000 feet. So actually, let's go ahead and do that right now. Set the MCP altitude to 4,000. Once we get to top of descent, now Airbuses differ very slightly from Boeing in that once Boeing, if the FMC is being programmed correctly, once you hit top of descent, the aircraft will then automatically start descent and follow a VNAV path down to pretty much all the way down to the localizer and glide slope. Airbus, on the other hand, will not. It requires intervention. And so what you have to do is you have to tell it, okay, we're at top of descent now. It'll tell you where top of descent is, but you actually have to tell it, right, let's start descending now. You can start descending slightly before or slightly after, and the aircraft will then try and alter its path. It depends what setting you use, whether you use open descent or descent altitude. So push or pull. Pushing is descent altitude, and pulling, not like is open descent. Now there's a really good video by Reflected Reality that goes through in incredible detail how to actually what these different modes do and how they're used during real airline operations. and how the pilots, you know, how they do different things, slightly different descent profiles, allow you to either pitch the aircraft down to increase rate of descent, or you can use it to control the speed. But they both get you down, but they do it in a slightly different way. So anyway, we're just gonna use descent altitude here, and we're just gonna let the plane follow the path all the way down. And actually, at that point, we could leave it. We could just let the aeroplane fly itself all the way down, and it would land itself. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do some flying, because that's what we want to do. We want to be free. We want to be free to party and have a good time. And that's what we're going to do. I want to get loaded. Let's just rewind the sun a little bit. There we go. I like evening flights. Evening flights are cool. Everybody likes a good evening flight. Whoop. Yeah, lovely jubbly. Alright, so let's zoom in a little bit here. We are about 21, 22 miles from top of descent. FCP altitude has set. Arrival data has been inputted into the FMC. We have no discos, we have no blue lights on the ECAM. Good stuff. Right, so let's have a look. We have got a landing on runway 26 left. 26 left is 3,048 meters long. 46 meters, sorry, 46 meters wide? Yeah, I think that's right. And it is a Cat 1. Oh, I want 27 right. Would that be a better runway for us? Yeah, no, let's just stick with 26 left, that's fine. That's all fine. Fuel cross transfer is in progress. Alright, we're now 10 miles to top of descent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit descent. And the airplane will descend at 1,000 feet per minute, but it's the profile that it was already calculated, and then descend along that path. So yeah, only a little short flight today. I don't want to bore you all to death and to tears, so I can find something interesting to do during the cruise section of the flight. Maybe answer questions in the chat. Currently there is the grand total of 1 people, but that's fine. I don't care. It's good. Just talking to myself here. It's all good. It's practice. It's practice. Really good. Thank you once again to Command Washington for popping by and laying on some funny in the chat. My very first stream, people are already putting stuff in the chat. That's great. Great, it tells you. Alright, so we still haven't intercepted the profile. See, this is another thing that the donut's coming down, which means at the moment we're slightly below profile. And there we go, we've just intercepted now, so we're dropping down to the descent rate of a lot actually, 3,300 feet a minute. That's quite a steep profile. not to worry, it'll straighten itself out in just a second. Sorry for the drop in frames for a second then. X-Plane seems to be doing that a lot recently since the last update. You'll get, you know, smooth sailing all the way, and all of a sudden you'll drop from 40 frames to 2 for like 5 or 6 seconds, and then boink, jumps back up again. Really annoying. Alright, so we're in the descent now. We're just about on the profile. You can see the little donut right there. It's our descent profile. We have a restriction at 13,000 because that's not what we put in the MCP. So let's just have a look at where that is. Constraints. Chipper, there it is. Chipper is 13,000 feet. Restriction. So at the moment the aircraft is flying a profile to put us at 13,000 feet at a sensible rate. At chipper. Then after that, I think it's open all the way. No, there are some other altitude constraints, but they're actually what we should be at. So that's good. Our estimated time en route is approximately 12 minutes. Now let's just double check here. I think we're close enough to Atlanta now that we can pick up the map. There we go. And lo and behold, this is quite useful. Disable downwind ILS approaches, so we know that these runways in this direction are all open for business. So we want ILS 26 left, so we're just going to tune nav 1, tune nav 2, which is 108.70. And there's no function for it there, so you just got to do it. On the map, cheating when good rather than actually programming it in. So once we get a little bit closer, I'll just make sure and verify that we've got that. So let's check what the METAR is. Conditions: 1700 scattered, 3700 scattered, 5700 broken, visibility more than 10, wind 240 at 10. I think that's more or less what we put in. 240 at 11, so 240 at 10 is close enough. Altimeter 3010, that is also correct. Alright, so that's good. So we're still within the range of what the this particular descent mode can cope with. It's a lower range of what it can cope with to keep us on track, and that's the upper range of what it can cope with regarding speed as to staying on our particular descent profile. And again, a descent profile is, I believe, dependent on what you've entered for your cost index. A higher cost index is going to give you a more aggressive descent profile. But 30 is 30's not bad. I normally go with 20, but 30's okay. 30 will do for us. It means we're not loitering around unnecessarily, but there's some pep in the engines to get us where we want to be in a reasonable amount of time. So we'll be descending through the clouds quite shortly. That'll be pretty. Let's have a look out the window. Pretty! X-Plane 11 is a very pretty simulator. If you've got the horsepower to run it, that is. It is incredibly taxing. on your GPU and CPU. I mean, it's got to run all these independent systems that are all simulated, and it's also got to render a lot of graphics. I personally have got some reasonable graphics settings. So number of world objects I've got cranked up to maximum, because maximum. Reflection detail, I have that down to minimal. Having it turned up, even here or here, can absolutely knock the snot out of your frame rates, which ain't good. Visual effects, here, here, and here. I think this particular setup gives me a happy mix of enough juicy details and enough lovely stuff and things, but also manageable and playable frame rates, or flyable frame rates. I didn't say play. Right, I didn't say play at all. Flyable frame rates. My system specs, if anybody's interested, I am running a, without going into all of it, I am running an i7 8700K coupled with a GTX 1080 Ti, and currently just 16 gigs of RAM, but I have space to upgrade to 32, I think it is in this particular system. Alright, let's set the QNH. What did we say it was? 3012, I believe. 3010. Alright, so now with the Toliss, you have to set it both sides. With the flight factor, you only have to set it one side. But the small differences between these two, and obviously the other difference being that this aeroplane is a short and stubby version of the flight factor one, which is an A319, where this is 319. Thank you all very much for tuning in. It's been wonderful. Alright, so QNH is all tied in. We are at 16,000 feet, descending for 13,000 feet. Let's open up XATC chatter and put it on approach. Give it a little tiny bit more volley. Apologies for the small glitch in performance just then, I'm not sure what's going on. Alright, we're approaching Chuckle now. We're still nicely on profile. And basically it's going to be in, take a left, double back on ourselves, and in for a super buttery smooth landing at Atlanta on 26 left. The bread is ready to be buttered. Although actually the wind is, what's the wind doing? It's 240 at 11 knots, but that's alright, it's not, as long as it's not gusting all over the place, it should be alright, manageable. But crosswind landings are not a problem. We shall persevere. Don't worry, I'll get us all down safely. It should be perfectly fine. Alright, so we're approaching 13,000 feet. For this runway, we don't really even need to arm the auto brakes, but we're going to put them on one so that we can exit at a suitable point. Let's just have a look. I will figure out very shortly to bring my map up so that we can, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and exit on 26 left at Echo 7. No map. Oh, good lord. Anyway, I'll figure that out for the next stream. But
my chart says that about, excuse me, about 3/4 of the way down the runway. This gives plenty of rollout. Echo 7, and then we're going to go from Echo 7. We're going to ramp 4. We're going to go to ramp 4 so that we'll exit 26 left by Echo 7, and then onto Echo Foxtrot 4, Foxtrot ramp 4. That is the plan. Now, what actually happens is remains to be seen. Let's have a look at the pretty out the window. Ooh, it's a bit cloudy. Yep, cloudy in all directions. Okay, so I'm also going to put the brake fan on. Should be coming up to video 37. We're actually in a speed an altitude constraint with some rain. The rain is here. Then normally air traffic would direct you to, during the descent phase, they wouldn't have you hit 13,000 feet and then cruise on 13,000 feet. What you would try and do is you would try and maintain a continuous descent, rather than doing it in steps and leveling off and right now down to 5 and then cruising on 5 for several miles and then down to 4. You would try and maintain a continuous descent all the way down. So we are about 16-ish miles from rain, and once we get to rain, oh heavens, why do I become popular when I'm streaming? Unknown. Stuff to see out the window. No cloud cover. Of course, the other thing is we probably end up getting vectors, depending on traffic. But as it's literally just us, we are the only airplane in the world, airborne airplane right now in this particular simulator. Yeah, we can just follow the flight plan right the way down. But in obviously in reality, you would air traffic would vector you to avoid other traffic, to slot you in. It would probably wouldn't be as straightforward as this. And at some stage, I will get onto either Vatson or Pilot Edge. Not sure which. Okay, yeah, there is Atlanta right there. And so our runway is 26 left, so there's one runway there, and then another runway slightly up from that, and then you've got runways 27 left and right. And then the other runway is 28, you just see over there. So we're going to be landing on that runway right there. And we should be there very shortly. Once we hit rain, we'll start descending now. We've got a decel point right here. So no doubt that will be our decel below 10,000 feet. The landing lights will go on. And I'll pop the seatbelt signs on. Okay, let's just doubly make sure that we are tuned in for 26 left. There we go, we are changed. A little early to put the landing system in yet, but once we get to about here, we finish the base leg and we turn on the final. I will activate the LS. The difference between LS and Airbus and Boeing is that they have a landing system as obviously Boeing has the ILS. It's the same thing, essentially it's the same. Okay, we're still on profile. The donut is now dropping, which means our descent is beginning. So everything is still okay over here. I'm going to pop the seatbelt signs on now. And auto brakes are set. I don't think we're going to need flaps. Sorry, I don't think we're going to need the speed brake. As this particular little airplane does an exceptionally good job of following flight time all the way down, including speed and altitudes, and leaving you in great shape at the start of the final approach. So you can arm the ground spoilers now, so we're all set for that. Anti-skid is on, brake fans are on, auto brake to low, spoilers armed, flaps not set just yet, we don't need to set that just yet. But we're now approaching a decel point where we're about to drop below 10,000 feet, which obviously means we're going to need to pop our lights on. No lights on at the moment. Now on the Airbus, these lights are retracts, so similar to the 737. The little light right there, the first setting will open that, that little light will kind of pop out, and then the final setting, when you flip the switch all the way up, the light will actually come on. And apparently you can actually feel that. Actual A320 pilots can actually tell without looking at these two switches right here whether the lights are out or in. It makes a distinct vibration in the cockpit apparently, so they can tell when they're out now. So we're at 10,000 feet more or less now, so let's just go ahead and pop those on. So those are in position 1, which means that the lights are out now, but they're not actually on. But we're at 10,000, so we're going to pop them on. So there's the lights on now. Our speed is now 240 knots, which is fast and groovy. Our first flap setting is 230 knots. But once we get into the airplane gets to around about here, it will activate approach mode, which means that the managed speed will drop down to whatever that is. In this particular case, we are 133 knots, so we'll drop to that. But it also depends on what the flap setting is. We've got the flaps not set at all, then yeah, you'll get an S-bug, around about 180 knots, which will allow you to fly it. Alright, so I'm going to bring that down at 10 miles now. ILS is tuned. Yeah, it won't, it's a shame it won't let you do that. Actually enter the ILS frequency and do it manually, but it's not the end of the world. Oh god, frames 15, what on earth?
frames have absolutely tanked for some reason. Right, let's try that SkyMax Pro fix. So we're just going to lower the cloud coverage area a smidgy bit, hit apply, and boom, our frames have jumped up to 30. So we've doubled our frames just by resetting SkyMax Pro. Top tip, kids, top tip. Alright, so we're turning around now, coming in. It's ARM ILS. It's slightly too far out to pick up either the localizer or the glide slope, but there's our airport over there and our runway, 26 left. Coming into view. Gosh, Gribbon, it's a bit dark, but that's fine. We've still got managed speed in, so we'll let the aeroplane do what it does. Still too far out to pick up the glide slope and the localizer at the moment. Good. Sometimes with this aeroplane it doesn't. Let's just doubly make sure. 26 left. Okay, yeah, we're definitely tuned to the right frequency. We are just too far out at the moment. They will appear very shortly. Obviously here and here. The ILS is armed. The ILS system is armed, it just hasn't picked up the frequency that we did last. But that's okay. I'm just going to bring the sun up a cheap bit. There we go. Boink! There goes the sun. Alright, so now we're on, we've picked up the localizer, the line slope. So I'm going to go ahead and arm approach. And it will just straighten itself out a little bit. So that obviously there's some diamonds in the middle. The glide slope is armed, the localizer is captured, so at this point obviously we contact approach and say, hello, good evening, it is us, we are here and we are established upon the glide slope and, sorry no, not, we're established on the localizer, and yeah, we're going to carry on unless you tell us otherwise. So now that we're on the glide slope, so the glide slope is alive, we're coming up to it right now, the localizer is captured, so we're in approach mode. So the speed, because we're in managed mode, has dropped to 200. If we put flaps 1 out, that'll drop to about 180. So we're now starting a very slow descent. MCP altitude is 4,000. So once that gets to there, we'll have captured the glide slope, and that will go from Alt GS, we'll go to GS. And then what I can do is set the go around altitude, which I'm not sure what it is for that altitude. Look, but we'll just go ahead and set it to 6,000. Seems a sensible go around altitude. Okay, so we're looking good. We've got a 241 at 11 knot wind coming just off front. And that'll stay steady pretty much right the way down to the touchdown zone, which is fine. So there's our MCP altitude of 4,000, so 11.5. Now we're about to pick up the glide slope. There we go, glide slope star. Glide slope. We have captured the glide slope. So I'll go ahead, whoa, go around altitude of 25,000 feet, yeah, that's 6,000 on the go around altitude, glide slope is set. I'm going to go and drop to flaps 1. Speed bug is now dropped to 175. Now obviously depending on the traffic, ATC would be managing your speed for you. They'll probably
give you a speed to come in to sequence you with other aircraft that are coming in to land. But as we're the only ones here, we're basically just going to float down. So 200 at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and bring the gear down now, actually, which will give us a little bit more drag rather than selecting flaps 2. We could just about select flaps 2 here, but it's slightly above. So now we're going to go ahead and select flaps 2. So the setting is 200 knots for flaps 2. Alright, so on flaps 2 now. Gear is down, 3 green. Go ahead and set taxi lights. There's the marker. Quieten that. Flaps 3. We're at 5 miles now, so the gear would be down by now anyway. And once we hit 160 knots, I'm going to select flaps 4. Okay, so before landing checklist, spoilers arm, flaps full, belts are on, lights are on. Okay, so it is at this point. I'm going to disconnect once we get settled. Actually, we're going to go disconnect autopilot right now. So now I am in control of the airplane. So we're just basically going to follow the flight directives. And my goodness. Here we go. So I'm leaving the auto throttle in. A little bit out of shape here, but it's alright. Still okay, we're still stabilised. The plane isn't screaming, unstable! Unstable! So that's good. Just leave down a smidgy bit. There's that crosswind. It's just kind of easing out a little bit now, so just a little bit down. A little bit of left rudder. There we go. Pappies are looking good. 2 white, 2 red. Still on the glide slope. There's the minimums. We are obviously going to continue. Bang in the middle. Right, we're now not looking at the flight directives, we're looking out the window at the end of the runway. There's our retard. Slight bit of flare, it's a long landing, but bit of a bounce. Okay, we're still in the middle of the runway, which is good, and the reverses are out. I think that's Echo 7 right there. We're about to go flying. Echo 3. Echo 3 is fine. Alright, so a little bit of braking. Manual brakes. Oops. It does help if you... Lordy. If you are... The keys only work if you've actually got X-plane selected as an active window, which I didn't, so... Alright, so after landing items, let us set the APU. Landing lights can go off. Brake fan will leave on. Spoilers. Flaps. They probably do have APU here ready for us at Atlanta, but we're going to assume that they haven't. We'll pop the APU on. So let's clean that up. We don't need the flight directors on, we don't need the landing system on. APU is spooling up. Lovely little landing. Not too bad, I'm not sure what the landing rate was, but it wasn't terrible. Oh, 131 feet per minute, that's perfectly acceptable. It was slightly long, so even though it was a reasonably soft landing, I don't think it should be judged as a good landing because we actually missed the touchdown zone. flaring slightly too soon and floated for a bit. Really a good landing is not necessarily one that's utterly buttered to death and you manage to get a landing rate of 4 feet a minute. No, it's whether you manage to get the aircraft down safely in the touchdown zone within the varying conditions that you have to land in. So you've got to, if it's a wet runway and there's a bit of a crosswind, you want to put the plane needs to be planted reasonably firmly. Not so people spill their drinks, obviously, but firmly enough that you are not aquaplaning all over the place. There's a great spot right there, and a dude ready for us. We'll take that dude. So, yeah, I'm going to take that spot right there, next to this CRJ 2, maybe? All right, dude. All right. Tapping the foot brakes a little bit. Yeah. Right. Who's that dude? All right. Straight enough. Straight enough. Just tapping the foot brake very slightly so we just come nice and softly. Yes, sorry about that, everybody. Alright, so the little dude is almost ready to say that's good. And there we go. Fabulous. Alright, so now that we have stopped, we are going to turn, actually we should have turned these off before we came in rather than blinding the poor fellow. APU is on, engine 1 off, engine 2 off, and obviously we'll be monitoring that as they spool down. So yep, good shutdown on 1 and 2. Beacon can now go off. Let's put some lights on in this cockpit, release the passengers, and there we go, yeah, all good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson. It has been emotional. So again, another great airport. I wonder who this one, I think it's Aerosoft. But there are some weird, freaky things that happen, like trucks here, look, appearing and then disappearing. These will disappear in a minute. Look, hello, and then goodbye. Anyway, so yeah, that was the flight. Thank you all very much for tuning in. It's been great fun talking to all of you. Yeah, it's my very first stream. Not fabulous, but hey, I'll get better. I promise. So let's just actually pop ground services on. So, sorry, the ground power unit. Shut the APU down. Oh, I'll tell you what else we can do just for added supersonic special effects. Let's get the ground services all rolling up. This is obviously Jar Design's ground handling deluxe, which is actually brilliant. I like it. The latest version works pretty much out of the box with any aircraft. I didn't have to do anything to get it set up to work with a Toliss or with Flight Factor Safety 20 or any of Flight Factor's aircraft. It's not just Jar aircraft that it covers, it covers all of them, and it's actually really good. It's a great little plugin, highly recommended. Alright, well there we go, that's Cincinnati to Atlanta. Thank you all for tuning in. Superb, lovely jubbly, and catch you next time.